This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. Hi there, folks, and welcome to Live Action Space Cowboy. It's a mini-series brought to you by us over at TV Tuners. We're going through all of Netflix's Cowboy Bebop, and I'm your host, Swanson, of course. With me, as always, my co-host and guy who's in a disguise for the entirety of this episode, almost, Stairmaster.
I have black face. Or do I have white face? I'm not sure.
I think you're in whiteface for As You Die, even?
So I guess
Yes.
he was wearing black face. Why do I keep saying flace?
And with us, as always, of course, is our other co-host and dog, who's definitely going to be in a lot of this show going forward.
Woof,
Keelan.
bark, woof, 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 bark.
Yeah, does the dog bark at all in this?
I
Oh my-
don't know. I don't remember.
I think it just stares blankly.
It's a good doggy. It's a quiet dog. It's a subservient dog.
Yeah, the kind of dog you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, welcome to another edition of us going through Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. As always, of course, is brought to you by Buy Me a Coffee, in that someone bought us all 10 coffees. Thanks to J-Pop, we're continuing through this.
More like piss
Yeah,
pop.
Whoa.
Yeah, more like J-Poop.
More like jerk pop.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is getting intense, guys. I don't know if I could continue this. This onslaught.
More like homo.
Whoa. Well, that's not that bad. Yeah, and of course, if you like what you're hearing so far, and perhaps you have a quip, a comment, a question, foresight otherwise, well, you could send any of those over to us at our email address, and we'll read them aloud on the podcast.
What?
Yeah, it's true. Send them over to tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read them aloud. What's that email, Keelrain?
tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. You can be like Gio, who sent us this email. Couldn't get much higher. Boys, the city needs your help.
City of Denver? Is that the city we're talking about still?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? That's the city we live in.
Yes.
I'm
The city
a little
needs your
tired of
help.
helping the city out, to be honest.
Ticket sales are way down at Coors Field, and if we don't do something about it, we might lose our baseball team to fucking Boulder, of all places.
Fuck Boulder.
Oh, I bet those $200 sandal-wearing fucks would just love that. Fuck! So look, can you guys just promote the Rockies throughout this episode? Maybe mention Dollar Hot Dog Night? But if people start asking questions about Dollar Night, change the subject. Don't do it for me. Do it for Denver. Alright, all together now. 1, 2, 3. Go Denver!
Go Denver.
Go Denver.
Yeah, baby. I love the Mets.
Rocky Mountain Geo. Alright, so this is an interesting one. He just sort of wants us to sprinkle in promotion for the Rockies. And I guess the Dollar Hot Dog Night.
So there was no question this evening. It was just we're meant
No, the
to
question
do
is, can you guys promote the Rockies throughout this episode?
Oh,
I guess the answer is
that's almost a question.
I don't know if we have it in us. I don't
yeah.
think,
I mean, we can
the
barely
audience
do
wants
running
us.
gags throughout an episode.
What's the team called?
The Colorado Rockies.
That's a mountain.
Yeah.
The,
That can
correct.
be found
yes.
in Colorado, but other states as well.
It's not just a mountain, Keo. I would call it the mountain.
So I think they need to like double check this and make sure that's actually a baseball team before trying to convince us to plug this. I don't know.
Is it a baseball team?
I don't think so.
It could be a lot of teams. It could be a football team. It could be a basketball team.
It would make more sense with a football team. Like the Rockies are immovable. You're very powerful.
Yes. Unmovability is not useful in baseball.
No, you have to be nimble.
So we are supposed to sprinkle this in throughout the episode, just not all talk about it right here, just so we're clear.
Okay. I'm a professional, and I'm going to do that, even if you guys try to stop me.
Listen, we're all in on the Rockies, Denver's favorite team.
Yeah, so we're going to be sprinkling it in throughout the episode, for sure.
Yeah. Then we're going to talk about Dollar Hot Dog Night.
I love hot dog.
Hot dog.
Anyway, thank you for that email, Gio. And,
I love hot dogs that make my guts feel like a war zone. That violates the Geneva Convention. Yeah.
When you think about it, all hot dogs sort of violate the Geneva Convention.
Hot dog.
Anyway, much like the 2021 Colorado Rockies, I feel like we're batting under 500 right now. So let's get these lav meters up.
All right. So this tweet of the week comes from @ReesRaps _44E, a.k.a. Tyrese the Shit Biggity Most Confused, who writes...
What do you say?
Hold on, what?
Who writes so much Cowboy Bebop, you look like Sailor Moon. Can I hit off the jur?
So this week... This week, Stairs decided that he's just going to come up with the most
schizophrenic,
gobbledygook thing he could find on the internet.
Apparently, this guy's a rapper,
and not a robot.
Yeah, he's according to his profile, visionary star. Send beats Gmail. Ty Tadakor @gmail.com. Wear off mini sleeves. And he's got more followers than the TV Tuners account.
It should be mentioned that how he spells sailor is
Salar.
S-A-L Salar.
Like I said.
Yeah, that's how he spells sailor when he's talking about Sailor Moon.
Is this supposed to be a rap verse? Because
That's what I was thinking. Are these bars?
Yeah, it doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any flow. I don't think.
So much Cowboy Bebop, you look like a Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
Can I hit off the jur?
I think this is a term that this person invented himself. Hit off the jur, or it's a typo, which we can't decipher.
The most that Google gets me here is that jur can mean Jeremiah.
Can I get a hit off the Jeremiah?
Is this a biblical thing? Is this some Christcore rapping?
Is this a bot?
Why would a bot say Sailor? That's not even a word. Why would a bot say that?
Okay, well,
let's just try and decipher the actual verse we have here, which is that so much Cowboy Bebop, you look like Sailor Moon.
A Sailor Moon.
Those two things are not related. One of them is like a cool noir thing, and the other one's like magical girls, which is the least noir thing.
You have so much noir that you are a magical girl?
Yeah, that's like tonal opposites.
Like
Cowboy Bebop's, it's lo-fi beats that are good to study or relax to, while Sailor Moon is more like caramel dancing.
I'm already out my pants. I ate a 8-ball of embezzlement C.
Okay, so typically an 8-ball is like it's like a unit of measurement for purchasing heroin or crack. Am I correct?
So is this like a street name for some kind of drug? Do you eat those drugs? Like, are you typical to eat them?
Or is he saying that he committed embezzlement? Oh, here's a good one. Put some syrup on my dick, ho. Suck a penis.
Well, I can understand that one.
I put hot sauce on my dick because it's my favorite remedy.
Oh, what? Remedy for what?
They had war for the stick. I'm about to get my missile Sea King, like the Pokemon. My chin hairs are very coarse. I make your wife divorce. Hey, that one rhymes.
Crypto crackers. I just need to see a broker. How the fuck you getting older and you keep getting broker?
Okay, that's alright.
It's a rhyme for rhyme. It's the same word, so not really.
Okay, but at least
it
sounded nice.
Okay, well, how about this? God, you're a big idiot jerk.
That sounds like a viper. Like something bad happens, and that is his next album title.
Yeah, there's no context here. He's not responding to anything. He's just putting that out there. You're, spelled wrong, you're a big idiot jerk. So it sounds like a grade schooler's trying to insult somebody there.
I heard you suck somebody dick since I bought my vehicle. The CD ain't been ejected.
Did we do fruiter, and you know that's how it goes down.
What's the hassle?
So is he doing?
Hold on.
What's the hassle? We can wrestle. I go first. Dick Busters, Nutcrackers.
Big Bengal, big Bengal, Boogle, boy, Betty, Boogle.
So for this fur one, is he doing like a Swedish chef type of thing in the first half?
Like mumblecore, but Swedish that.
He's like fur, and you know how that goes down.
I never had Atari. Why God pushed the red button? Laughing emoji. Oh, it's kind of a grinning face with smiling eyes.
Stop being off the dickhead? I don't think that's the line.
I don't think that's what you want. Either.
So sometimes he seems to be just posting out like what looks like stock changes, but they're not stocks. What is? He says Talcac plus 42.75. If I Google that, and there's no such. Oh wait, no.
He's lowering gas
no
prices and poking Pete. I think this is political. This one.
Poking Pete, Mayor Pete.
Yeah.
He's having sex with Mayor Pete.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, I'm gonna tune out on this because these raps are a little whack.
These raps are dog water.
So sorry about that name. I'm not gonna try and pronounce.
Tyrese da Shid Big Breezy. Most confused.
Most confused.
That's actually accurate, from what I can tell.
Okay, I have one more. I have
name.
one more, and I want Swanson to read this.
I serve the green eggs and ham, and I can't go out like no fucking mustard. I like that these are lyrics that make you think. Not because they have anything to say, but just because you have to understand. You have to try and parse what is being said.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this isn't a bot. I'm still not sure, but how long have we been doing this for? It's been like a long time, I think.
40 minutes.
Too long, probably. Anyway, yeah. Better luck next time. Thank you for the tweet, Stairmaster. All that jazz. Well, let's get to what you guys watched this week. Anything fun, interesting?
I didn't watch nothing. Plead the fifth, my friends.
I think I watched something. I watched Gundam 083 Stardust Memories.
Oh, okay. How's that?
It's kind of bad. It's also like the best mechanical animation you'll see in a Gundam, I think. But it's got some very boneheaded writing decisions. Like, imagine if everyone on the white base was kind of an asshole.
Oh no.
Like,
Okay.
one guy is an out-and-out sex pest who's constantly groping the female mechanical staff. And suffers
Yikers.
0 consequences.
Yikers.
I don't like this.
Another guy's a nerd.
Oh no. Okay.
Another
Can't
guy
have
is
that.
a Japanese Tom Cruise, but he's also kind of a pushover anime protagonist.
They've got their own Maverick.
Yeah. Except he's very polite. He doesn't really have Maverick qualities. So I don't know
Dang.
why they made him look like Tom Cruise.
Should have made
Unbelievable.
him Iceman.
And also the heroes inadvertently end up causing a colony drop, allowing the bad guys to succeed and giving the Titans political pretext to take over. Which is an interesting choice, I suppose. And also the love interest ends up sort of quasi-defecting to the bad guy rival and pointing a gun at the protagonist in the last episode while the
No.
colony drop is in progress.
Why would
And
they
no
do
one-
this?
She doesn't really suffer any consequence for it.
Cops called.
Yeah. And then the protagonist gets thrown in prison by the Titans for like a year. And everyone on the ship becomes a Titan.
What?
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, look at these cool jackets they've got. It's not even like sad music is playing or anything.
What?
Even though there's a 90% chance those guys are going to be killed by Quattro Bagina, Camille Biden, or Amuro Ray in the next 3 years.
Camille Biden?
Camille, Bidan.
Yeah, who's Camille? Is that Hunter's brother?
Maybe.
Well, don't let them get his laptop or whatever the hell.
My son Camille, he's out there fighting the Space Wars.
We're working on a Gundam Mark II.
Well, listen, if I get my hands on that Quattro Pagina,
If I get my hands on that Rick Diaz, oh baby. I also
let
watched
me pilot the Gundam.
I also watched Popstar Never Stop Stopping.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
was
good
fun.
one.
That's a good one. Yeah, baby.
What's the best song?
Legalize It.
Yeah.
Because you're sort of just not paying attention and then you realize what the song is about and you chuckle.
I also enjoy the Obama, or
So-
the Osama bin Laden song.
So for Kia, this is a mockumentary featuring the Lonely Island,
Who?
where they play a dissolved boy band group, the Style Boys, and Andy Samberg plays the one guy who's successful with a solo career.
I recognize Lonely Island from somewhere. What is that?
They did Space
all the-
Olympics, Juice in My Pants,
Yeah.
Like a Boss.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah, I'm on a boat, Jack Sparrow. I just had sex.
Yeah,
Wow.
like all of the good things from SNL in the last like 20 years.
Yeah.
They're living legends.
And so Andy Samberg plays like this childlike dotard who's slowly
His name is
ruining,
Connor for real.
who's slowly burning everything out around him down to the ground.
What a guy.
It's very funny. And they take it, and there's a cameo by Eric Andre.
Does he smile and laugh?
No, he screams.
Oh, that makes sense.
There's a scene where R&B singer Seal is murdered by wolves.
And you laughed?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a tune in on Popstar Never Stop Stopping, Popping.
Never stop stopping?
Yeah. Never stopping.
Never stop nevering?
Yeah, and also I watched The Poseidon Adventure.
Okay.
What's that?
It's about a boat that turned upside down in the
Everyone
ocean, in the
died?
middle of the ocean. Almost.
Except
And
for
the
one guy?
Yeah, there's this one guy who's like got this tortured relationship with God. He's a reverend, and he's Gene Hackman. And he's trying to get the guides out, and everyone at every step is like skeptical of him, except for this annoying kid. It's like, gee willikers, this is where the Engine Man showed me the shaft room.
Is this a good movie, Stare?
It's not a great movie. You can watch it if it's on TV and you don't have anything else to do for a lazy afternoon.
A hangover movie.
Yes, a hangover movie.
Okay.
Also, I watched Earthquake from 1974, which is a far lesser disaster movie from that period. It kind of suffers from the fact that an earthquake kind of just is like a 4-minute long disaster, so there's no real way to structure a 2-hour film around it. There's no natural stopping point.
I think the conceit of Earthquake was that you would go into the theater and it would shake the seats.
Oh, really?
In
That's
1974.
Awesome. They had what was it? They had the Matchbox radios in theaters. The D-Box.
I think that was the enticement to get people into the theater for that one.
It's okay. Those are some really good special effects for when they destroy Los Angeles.
I want to see an earthquake movie where if there's an earthquake and it's pretty bad and there's somebody who doesn't have electricity for the day and he's just kind of bored.
Oh man, I'm going to miss the big game.
Can we go to the stadium himself to watch it in person?
How am I going to watch the Colorado Rockies?
I'm going to miss out on $1 hot dog.
I think sports were canceled when this earthquake happened. It seemed very big.
Yeah, that's probably true. They probably don't play baseball when an earthquake happens.
Nationwide, every game stop.
Yeah,
the stadium, that he was going to. Oh, you mean he's traveling to a different city or
he's
state?
Traveling to a different a distant location urgently to watch the game.
Is this the entire movie?
So it's a race against time to get to the big game.
It's a road trip film.
Yeah, he's traveling through the destroyed ruins of the city.
Okay, that sounds like Earthquake 1974. And there's an incel plot line where this insane National Guard sergeant kidnaps a woman and attempts to molest her.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he gets gunned down by the police officer who's almost fed up with the system.
But not quite fed up with the system.
Well, he said he was going to quit at the start of the film, and it doesn't seem like he changed his mind at the end of the film.
So he quits shortly after the film's over.
I guess. This film is not very well written, is what I'm saying. That arc doesn't really resolve itself. The main character, played by Charlton Heston, has this thing where he hates his wife and is having an affair with the dead co-worker's widow. And it seems like they're just happier together. But at the end, his wife is in a flooded sewer tunnel, and he goes down to save her and gets swept away, presumably to their deaths, while the widow watches.
Yeah,
that's it.
And another viewpoint character is this black stunt driver who's trying to strike it big in Vegas. And he sort of just drives out of the movie halfway through, and they just put in a shot of him driving away from the flood.
That's the thing they never tell you about earthquakes, is that if you're savvy enough, you can just drive away.
Yeah.
True.
Also, there's a drunkard played by Walter Matthau who's dressed like a 70s pimp with a purple hat.
Does he win?
No, he's just drunk out of his mind.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
Is he happy?
Yeah. The movie. So the movie just ends with that guy being swept away, and the police officer is like, "Huh," and climbs out of the sewer, and another cop comes up and is like, "Boy, this used to be one hell of a town, huh?" And he's just like, "Yeah, right." And the camera pans away, and he just gets some shots of destroyed L.A., and the credits roll.
Used to be one hell of a town.
Yeah, there's no real moral.
The moral is, of course, that God is repaying L.A. for its decadence.
I mean, at least the Towering Inferno had, you shouldn't build really tall skyscrapers because they can catch on fire and trap people.
No, this is God finally handing down his vengeance to the evil city of LA.
Yeah.
They should have had a guy like cross his arms at the end and been like, there would have been far fewer casualties if the buildings were up to earthquake code.
Actually, yeah, they do. They did bring that up, and there was a guy who complained about them building skyscrapers. So really,
when the cop sees Charlton Heston's character get swept away, he should be like, "That's what happens when you have sex outside of marriage."
Well, that's the thing. They didn't have sex. They were about to have sex, but then the earthquake.
That's why
happened.
you don't think about having sex.
They're going to have sex
Yeah.
later that evening, but the guy went to work, and then the earthquake happened.
Well, clearly God was fed up.
So God came in to
Yes.
stop the premarital or extramarital sex.
Yeah.
So that was a moral. We figured it out.
There we go, everybody. We did it. And this movie's writer, Ronald Reagan.
Wow, a living legend.
This won't happen to LA when I'm in charge, mammy.
When are we gonna get Reagan on the pod?
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, when I get that copy of the Necromonicon off of eBay,
Yeah.
it's a very
you're in a
bidding roll.
Yeah, you're in
War.
a bidding war with Demon Boy 22, which is
Makes sense.
Yeah. Is that it, Sarah?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't watch a whole lot this week, but I did watch The Batman.
Oh,
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I heard there's a cool car chase.
Yeah, it kicks ass. I was about to start hooting and hollering in the theater.
Oh, you love to see it.
Yeah, it's nice to have a superhero movie that feels like it's influenced by other movies that aren't superhero movies.
That's nice. So you mean like
Kind
Joker?
of missed that.
2019.
Yes. It is good. I mean, I like Joker, and I like this. Coincidence? I think not. It's good. It's a good time. Imagine, here's the scenario. Imagine Batman was in David Fincher's Zodiac.
Not Michael Mann's Manhunter.
Sort of, but it's not as, it's not quite, the atmosphere isn't quite like that. And he has to go around and he has to solve a crime.
Yes.
That's it.
That's what I heard.
Also, Batman is Volcel in this?
I heard he was autistic.
No. I don't think so.
Oh, well, we'll be the judge of that. Royal we.
well. I don't want Batman to do anything sexual. That makes me uncomfortable.
Well, luckily you don't have to worry about... Well, I mean, no spoilers. I can't spoil it. Star hasn't seen it yet. But, he is... I'm not... he is Volcel in this, so you don't have to worry about it too much.
I'll see it when it comes out on streaming.
But, yeah, it kicks ass. Other than that, going through watching bad TV shows, I finally got to my first spin-off of sorts. I watched That 80s Show, which is a quote-unquote spin-off of That 70s Show, but it doesn't have any of the characters. It just has the same concept, which is that it's a show set in, instead of the 70s, it is a show set in the 80s.
Yeah.
A very novel concept. It's bad. It does have Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in an early that role. But yeah, it's not any good. It's just a bunch of people making 80s references for a half hour.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Sounds like Big Bang Theory.
Sort of, yeah. Like, That 70s Show is not a great show, but it does at least have a semblance of, like, characters in it. This is just like a bunch of people just making jokes about, like, hey, remember when this happened? In the 80s?
Remember the Challenger disaster?
Yeah, stuff like that, pretty much. Hey, you know who's in office right now? Ronald Reagan. And everyone's like, whoa. They do have one female cast member who does have Liberty Spikes the entire show.
What are those?
Those are the big spiked punk hair.
Oh.
Which is wild that they actually had to... They apparently actually did that to the lady Like they attach these spikes to her head every day for this shitty ass show. So I feel for that actress, but everyone else, I don't know.
Did they have dollar hot dog night in the 80s?
No.
It
would have been
they had 50,
like consider
it was 50
inflation.
cent.
I mean,
Yeah, it was at
these-
least 50 cent hot dog night.
$1 now would be like a penny back in 1980.
Is that how inflation went?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. They had penny hot dog for a penny back then.
They used hot dogs as pennies.
It's true. They actually they do that in that 80s show.
Was this like a bartering type thing, or was it just an official currency?
Yeah.
Like it had like a
Yeah.
like an old man, like in mustard on top of the hot dog, like the face of an old man in mustard, like a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the face of everyone's favorite president.
What if you picked up a hot dog and the lips of the bun started moving and it talked to you and it was the voice of Big Pussy from The Sopranos? And it's like, I've been talking to the FBI, right?
I would eat the hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd whack that hot dog, by which I mean eat it. Anyway, that's it for me.
I didn't watch nothing.
Oh yeah, tune in on the
can't-
Batman.
Okay, tune in on the Batman, and you didn't watch nothing. You guys can't prove anything, so we're moving on.
Yeah, without further ado, now that we're 40 minutes into this podcast, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this show that we watched. This Cowboy Bebop. Let's watch it again, actually. Yeah, let's rewatch it. This is worthy of a rewatch. This episode.
There's so many details to soak in.
Yeah, you just gotta sort of soak in this like a hot dog in water, which you get for $1 on a certain night. That we've not been informed what night, by the way, but there's a night where there's $1 hot dog if you go to Coors Field, where the Colorado Rockies play.
And we're going to keep them in Denver.
Football!
Guys, wait. Let's go to Coors Field right now. Stop the recording. We're going to head over to Coors Field and record from Coors Field.
All right. Hey, guys, we're back. So they didn't let us in Coors Field, but we are outside it right now.
Yeah, Jose Canseco kicked our asses.
Yeah, classic Colorado Rockies player. He lives here in Colorado.
I thought he was retired.
To be specific. Yeah, he lives here.
I'm currently in my deathbed from the beating.
Yeah, we wheeled a bed here for Keo to lay in and die. But we're gonna keep talking about Cowboy Bebop now. And hopefully they let us in for the last bit of this podcast.
It's
so we
starting
can
to get
record
cold
on
and
the field.
I can hear wolves howling.
Hope I can make it to the end of the pod.
Those are just the famous Colorado wolf noises that you hear every now and again.
Yeah, from wolves.
Yeah. They hang out in the mountains. Sometimes they come down for, when people throw out their used hot dogs.
Uh-huh.
Do you think they
would hot dog night?
Think they'd pick off a vulnerable injured man?
So that's why we got to get this episode done with, Keo.
Oh, well, see, I thought they wouldn't pick off an injured man because they got all these hot dogs.
Oh yeah, the hot dogs would put up less of a fight than you, Keo.
Oh, I can't see the hot dogs.
Okay, well now it's debatable of whether or not a hot dog would put up less of a fight.
Listen, Keo, you and the audience are just gonna have to take us at our word that there are hot dogs here.
Yeah, every night, maybe.
Every night is $1 hot dog night at the Coors Field.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're saying now, so it has to be true. If they tell you different, tell them TV Tuners told you it was every night.
And they'll give you the hot dogs for $1. You know what you do? You take them.
Yeah, it's true. You say, if you won't give me the hot dog, I'll be taking a hot dog.
For $1, though. You still exchange the currency, but you...
Well, yeah, you give them only $1. And a tip, I guess, if you want to be nice.
Which you probably should be nice, especially since they're really hurting out here at Coors Field.
Yeah.
I'm really hurting out here at Coors Field, too.
This episode's titled Dog Star Swing.
Okay.
So, yeah?
Yeah.
I was just responding to the title.
Okay. So yeah, this was interesting because for the first half or so of this episode, I didn't mind it.
It was the least offensive episode we've seen so far.
In the first
For
half,
the first half.
I was thinking, like, if they didn't try to make this a Cowboy Bebop remake, this would have been, like, okay. I might have enjoyed this a little bit.
That's would have
Yeah.
been hangover television, I guess.
Exactly. This first half is like amusing.
Yeah, it's funny seeing Spike Spiegel do like a sitcom plot where he's trying to keep
Yes.
Jet playing to his machinations.
Even though it makes no sense for him to do it.
Yeah.
It's like this character here. Immediately they are annoying me though, honestly, because the original program, it was just kind of fun seeing them just do a job for an episode and not
they were
get
friends.
distracted. Yeah, they're friends. First of all, they work well together, but also they're doing a job. They're pretty focused on it because, well, they only have 20 minutes to get through the story for one thing, but also they decided that the focus was going to be on the story of the day, which is not the case here.
I feel like,
No,
this would have
it's-
been better if this had been a rip-off of Jingle All the Way, and the whole episode was just him trying to get a toy.
That would have kicked ass. That would have been good. So do you think this toy is supposed to look cheap?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the point, right? That's what I thought.
I can't imagine
Better.
they'd want it to look good.
Yeah. So this fucking toy comes back that Jet was talking about in the first episode.
Walking
He's trying
Sally.
to get it for his... Yeah, it's a walking Sally doll. It's amazing that 100 years plus have passed, and they're still selling dolls that can walk as like a new thing.
Yeah, I think that was probably had to be the joke. Right?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure.
I want to give them
This
credit.
is like-
I want to give them credit for that, but at this point, I'm strained on that. Strained.
Well, the
We're-
commercial
is-
is kind of retro as well.
So we're supposed to believe that the Cowboy Bebop world is past late stage capitalism into like dire stage capitalism.
We're already in dire stage capitalism, buddy.
So what is this then? Dire docks stage
Yeah.
capitalism?
Mine is the human simulated brain in the corner
Yeah.
that makes it feel weird, gives it the weird emotional aurora.
But so we do get I think the reason I like this first half is that it is sort of self-contained. There's a little bit of Spike talking about the syndicate and Vicious and all that, but it's not interfering with the story at this point. It's just like this is the reason Spike has to stay here.
Except when it literally interferes with the storytelling multiple times.
In this first half?
Not the first half. Yeah, the second half is when they just interfere. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the first half it's like just a self-contained story that's like fun enough.
It's just there's a little bit of annoyances where in the back of our head we know that Spike is only here because he's trying to do some like stupid syndicate garbage.
Yeah, he's like not even concerned with money at this point, I guess.
He's like, hey, Jet, we can stay here for 15 million because I want to find out information about Vicious.
Yeah.
They couldn't even just say he had personal business to attend to.
Nope.
That would have just solved everything, but I mean, like, it's sitcom logic.
So we get introduced to this lady, Woodcock, I think is her name. And, yeah, I don't know about all this.
Yeah, this lady needs to go to jail.
She's an informant that helps Jet out, and, listen, man, I
She
don't know
literally
if there's...
just sexually harasses him, and that's her character.
Yeah, well, she's an older white lady who's got a thing for black people, apparently. Black men, I guess.
Also, this accent is such a choice.
Yeah, do you think they asked her to do that, or do you think she showed up and just did it?
I imagine they either picked her because she spoke like that, or they told her to do it.
She shows up and immediately refers to Jed as creamy chocolate milk.
Creepy.
Yeah, and Spike is just having the time of his life.
Yeah, for some reason Spike is like, this is cool.
He's very amused by this predator that shows up.
he's just having a great time. He's being like, I love seeing my friend get humiliated by a woman who wants him to know that she is down.
What?
For whatever he wants.
Wait, what does she want to do with him?
Sex.
Presumably she wants to drink him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought she just wanted to go I thought she just wanted to go out for dinner. Whoa, that's crazy. They were a little bit too subtle there with that whole thing.
Yeah. Don't worry, the subtlety leaves with the rest of the plot later. So yeah, she's like, yeah, here's the unedited video for you, buddy. And we get introduced to Hakeem, who is a pretty cool character in the original.
And that's
He's like a
nasty,
kung fu guy.
He's like a nasty, rude man who's very gruff.
I meant like he's cool because he like has a cool fight.
Oh yeah, he looks cool. He can punch good.
Yeah. Also, he has a dog.
Well, he took the dog.
And this one, he's like a schlubby white guy who's also racist.
Keo, if you have something, if you take something, do you not have it?
If you have somebody as having a dog, that implies like the dog is your pet and the dog likes you in some way. He's like carrying a dog. He took a dog. He doesn't have a dog.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in this he has lots of dogs, evidently.
If I tell you that, like, hey guys, I have a dog, you'd be like, oh, what's the dog's name? How's your dog doing? You don't think like I took the dog and I have it in a briefcase, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, he doesn't have any dogs in briefcases in this one. So they're watching this video. Spike is able to read the lips of Hakeem, and they figure out that there's some sort of kidnapping thing going on here. They figure out Hakeem is using like some sort of device some sort of face changer device. They have a extended bit about how Jet knew of a guy in the Force named Doc Holliday, and they don't know why he was called Doc Holliday.
That bit goes on for a while,
for longer than needed, but they decide that they're gonna go check out like the sex district. I don't know what you call this. There's a funny bit where they say that they're gonna check out Betty's boop and Betty's bottom, which are two separate places where you can find people to have sex with. I thought that was funny. The extended bit in this half of the episode where Jet gets the doll and then it keeps getting disfigured was funny to me.
Yeah, but it's like, it kind of lessens the impact of him sacrificing the doll to save Spike at the end. The doll's already fucked up. Why does it matter if he throws it in a puddle at that point?
I don't think he was sacrificing the doll either. I think he just dropped it.
He threw it.
He was just kind of like, screw this, and tossed it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was supposed to be any impact to him saving Spike. He would have done that either way, probably. But I do like in this fight scene when Hakeem finally shows up and Spike fights him. They're on a roof and there's just a sign behind them that says porn.
Well, yeah. How else there's porn there?
Also, the sign can only be seen by people on the roof of that building.
Yeah, what's that for?
It's for when you're on the rooftop, you know that if you go into that building you're on top of, that there's porn inside.
Guess that's fair, yeah. If you're jumping from rooftop to rooftop looking for
but we
where
also
the porn is.
Do not see any porn inside the building. We only see sex.
No, of course not. Yeah. They say there's porn, but it's a trick. They're getting you in there to offer you something better than porn.
To drain you of your male
it's sort of like
essence.
a car dealership offering you like an incentive.
You know, when you think about it, women sort of are like cars.
It's kind of like enticing people out to your stadium with a $1 hot dog, but you actually give them a baseball game.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
actually
women
kinda like
sort of
that.
are like baseball games.
There's a lot of similarities. They have the same number of innings.
Yeah.
3.
That's, that's right. And they never go into extra innings.
And you don't want to get
No.
on the wrong side of the umpire. Their dad.
Also, there's rain delays.
And you can get to the same number of bases, too.
That's right. So yeah, they have Hakeem and Spike have this fight.
It's okay.
Basically, the way they get Hakeem here is that they scramble the
DRM, I
stuff.
guess, on his face changer.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's an Internet of Things equipped device.
I guess.
Is it
I
an
don't
internet
know.
thing, or did they send out some kind of signal that messes up the machinery? They don't explain it. They just have a device.
Yeah.
Very, very convenient.
Yeah. I guess it's supposed to be some sort of signal, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But it starts messing with people's face-changing stuff. Hakeem shows up and is like, hey, my face changer's on the fritz. There's a completely superfluous scene where we see him and his fake guise as a white man, and his face is changing, and some random lady is just like, you're the murderer! He's like, I gotta get out of here. Thanks for that, I guess. TV show.
I got to go back to the strip club to tell them to fix this.
So he shows up right in front of Spike, and Spike's like, all right, it's time for fighting. They make it to the roof, and it's a pretty okay fight scene, all things considered.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's great. It's the one scene where we get actual Hakeem, because
Yeah,
he's not in the rest of this.
Yeah, for whatever reason, he spends even when his cover is blown, he still keeps the white guy disguise on.
I wonder if there's production issues, or the guy could not act who was playing real Hakeem.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they get a guy who's good at fighting to play that for that one scene? They were like the white guy couldn't do kung fu, or not even. That's not even really what they do in this. But he couldn't do fight choreography.
I'm saying that the black actor could not act.
That's what I mean.
They got the white guy to play.
Well, spoilers stare. This white guy couldn't act either.
Yeah.
So it turns out it was bad either way.
But yeah, they completely just changed this character for the worst, I would say.
Yeah, it's all
an
bad.
unwelcome addition.
Well, it's because he's cool in this one fight scene, and then he leaves, and he becomes he just becomes a
random depressed guy.
He's like a weenie
Yeah.
afterwards for some reason.
He has this cool fight scene where he's going toe to toe with Spike, and then he just leaves afterwards. He's like, "Oh, jeez, oh man, shucks,
Oh, now I gotta kill
Oh,
myself.
this is it for old Gil.
it's time for me to kill these dogs. I don't know why. Why was he gonna kill these dogs?
Because they left his
hates
family to die on Earth.
He hates the rich people, Swanson.
But I thought he was extorting them.
No, he just wants to kill the dogs.
Okay, that makes sense.
He's not looking for money at all.
Who
in
fucking
this.
cares? Wasn't the original plot? Wasn't Hakeem's original deal he was getting the dog because it had a computer chip? Or it was a genetically engineered dog?
It was a so-called data dog, and he was going to sell it for
It was like the Rain Man of dogs.
It had nothing to do with Earthgate or whatever happened, whatever he's rambling about at the end of this episode.
He had no political concerns. He was just another guy trying to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh, we forgot to talk about this is blackmail because you are black and male line.
yeah, that was bad, right?
Yeah.
That was bad.
That whole character is bad. I think the reason that whole character is bad is because she does, like Kyo said,
Girly
essentially
anything.
she does sexual harassment, and Spike is like, "Woo, yeah, you do that."
Spike is horny this episode.
This episode is horny. They upped the nudity meter in this episode by 100%. This is a horny episode. I don't know why. Why are we suddenly talking about dildos for an extended length of time in this episode?
Yeah, we just spent
No
the
one
time
knows.
hanging out with the dominatrix just because they're trying to talk
A
to her,
dominatrix who's like saying lines that I've never even heard on a Netflix show before.
but yeah, she's just like very gratuitous and keeps talking for a very long time.
She shows up on screen and is immediately like, "You're making me late for my midnight bukkake."
It's like, what?
Which-
What? She's a top. You don't
Yeah,
bukkake
what-
tops.
Is she? Maybe she's the one doing it to somebody.
You can't
But
do
she
that by
need
yourself.
other. Yeah, she would need friends.
Well, maybe she does have friends. We don't know. She probably has a rich interior life that we're unaware of.
You're right.
We got a lot of details of what she's up to, so we're pretty aware of what's going on.
Also, Spike is like down the clown with this with this lady. This is
True.
like this is a version of Spike that isn't very much in the anime at all, but is one that I'm willing to see in this version just a little bit, which is just like weirdly horny Spike.
Well, Spike in the original is like normal horny.
Yeah, he's an
But he
average
just
guy
wanted
on that
to-
regard.
He wanted to persuade
Yeah.
women to have sex with him.
In this one, he's like the cartoon wolf from Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Like this lady shows up and starts talking about like mistress stuff, and he's like, "Oh,
He's like, this is my scene. I know all about this. This is what I'm into.
He read 50 Shades of Grey.
he looks at Jet and he's like, "Yeah, it's like that." Oh yeah, we forgot to mention during the fight scene at the end there, Spike ends up in between the billboard, specifically in between the naked billboard lady's breasts.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
The PS2 magazine, the PlayStation magazine CGI woman.
Yes, I thought that was funny just for the shot of him hanging out there.
Okay,
that was fun.
you're correct.
Yeah. Unfortunately, immediately after this fight scene is when the episode takes a huge nosedive, and it's not a coincidence that it's immediately when Vicious shows up on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like they got scared that the audience was going to be bored unless Vicious showed back up because they were so concerned with Vicious. So they had
Yeah,
to...
everyone's dying to see more of this British guy.
It feels like the first half of this episode, all of the writers from the first two were like on lunch. And so they had like a couple interns writing the first half, and they came back and read through the script, and they're like, "Where's Vicious? How are we going to do an episode without any Vicious?"
So we just get to see Vicious eat shit this entire episode and look like a dumbass.
Yeah.
Well, we get to see him do like an atrocity for no reason first, though.
Yeah, this is also where they up the nudity meter again.
Yeah, what was this all about? Like,
He can't deal red eye, so he murdered all of his drug factory workers who are nude and have their eyelids sewed shut so they can't do red eye.
yeah, why are they nude though?
So they can't steal the red eye.
Even though their eyelids are shut, so...
Well, they could give it to
Yeah, I
someone
don't know.
else for money.
Couldn't they just
This-
use like robots or something?
Probably.
This was like a gratuitous level of nudity in the way that one scene from, what was that show with Al Pacino we watched? With the
Hunters.
Nazis.
Hunter.
Yeah, Hunters. It's sort of gratuitous in that manner, where it's just like a bunch of people being murdered and they also happen to be naked for no reason. I mean, there's a reason, I guess, but also this scene didn't need to happen.
Is that a thing though? Like you make your drug packers wear nothing so that they can't
No.
steal the product?
I mean, it is a thing, but not an act. Like, I don't know how much in practice he is.
I don't think they make him completely nude in real life.
Yeah. So yeah, they he shuts down this red eye operation by murdering all these people, and yeah, he's just, listen, guys, I don't like this guy. I don't like this Vicious. Not because he's like supposed to be the bad guy. I mean, I don't like him as a character. He's not. There's nothing interesting about him.
He's evil.
He's an asshole and he's not good at crime.
Correct.
Well, OG Vicious was an asshole, but he was very good at crime.
Also, he had a rave. He needs some birds, is what I think is the problem.
The problem with this Vicious is that they try
he's
to
not
like...
on top.
Okay, he's not on top, but they try to act like he is.
Unearned.
Correct.
It's like a forced face. It's like they're trying to make him go over in wrestling parlance. They're acting like he's over when he hasn't done anything to get over.
You're saying Vicious is Roman Reigns?
Yes. He's Triple H during the bad times.
I don't remember the original super well, but I believe in the original he had like a falling out with the leader of the syndicate, but it wasn't like he was like all pathetic in the process.
No, he killed them all and took over when that happened.
Yeah.
Right.
He had a falling out with them and then was like, I'll just kill them.
He was like,
and
oh yeah,
did.
my Raven's a bomb, by the way, and blew that up and like cut some guy's eyes off with his katana.
How cool would it be if... Okay, this scene with the Red Eye people would be cooler if he had ravens and made reference to the ravens specifically plucking out their eyeballs. That would at least make him seem like his title is correct in that he's vicious.
Well, he does kill some people. That's pretty vicious, but they're people who...
couldn't defend themselves even if they wanted to.
And they were just a naked spectacle.
Yeah.
With like some... I guess it was just this gratuitous humiliation and mutilation, which...
And then this other scene at the end of the episode is him just being scared for his life.
Yeah. Also, there's a lot of like... We'll get to it when we get to it, but there's a lot of close-up shots of this guy trying to act with his face, and it's not working.
Yeah, you need to get someone to check that out. A technician.
I mean, his face is fine. It's just the acting that's going on there is not.
Meant.
The canvas.
Like, they gotta get a mechanic in there.
Yeah, they gotta give him a tune-up for his acting skills.
Yeah, it's like when Amuro was getting too fast for the Gundam to handle his control inputs. They gotta do that to his face. They gotta put magnetic coating in his muscles.
It's true. We get a scene between Julia and self-insert character, Anna. I don't think... I couldn't figure out if she was actually a character on the show. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't. The OC, I don't think so.
So they have a scene here where I guess we're supposed to get like a little bit of Julia. Here's my problem with Julia so far as she's established.
She's a prop.
Yeah. Yeah. She's just, she exists. I mean, in the show, for much of it, she is just also a prop. But when she shows up, she at least immediately is a character.
She's also not interrupting the adventure we're trying to go on.
Yeah, when she shows up, the episode is about that.
Yeah, exactly. She's not showing up and having an interaction with the character for some reason to fill out some time, presumably.
They're having a Bechdel heart to heart in this.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who felt like this was like them being like, oh crap, we're on episode 3 and we haven't had two ladies talk yet about something that isn't men.
Except they talk about a man, so...
Well, it's a different scene technically, so I think it passes. Because at first they're talking, when they're in the bar area, they're talking about her music career.
Okay, I guess.
So they're like, oh, technical Bechdel.
But they were leading to talking about Vicious, though. That was the goal.
Yeah.
Well, it's true, because when you're seeing on screen, you're like, how is this going to relate back to
That's
Vicious
what the
and
scene is
Spike?
about. It's about a Vicious.
Yeah. And they're doing like an abuse storyline with Julia, which, alright. It's not even that I'm like mad that this character is worse in this show.
I'm not mad.
Because like it's not
sad.
that like it's a bad idea to give Julia some more to do in the show. It's just that she should not be a main cast member, and neither should Vicious. There's no reason to make them main cast members. Make them just recurring characters on the show.
They're the focus of this episode at the end of the
Also,
day.
being in the main cast shouldn't even include them from being in the episode, because guess who hasn't been in the last 2 episodes who's in the main cast? Yeah.
Why was she in episode 1 again?
Your guess is as good as mine, buddy, because she hasn't been in these 2. Presumably she comes back in the next one. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, this episode just jumps off a cliff after this stuff. So they get Jet's like gets a hold of a doll, or he gets like he can get the money for the doll if they try and find Hakeem or whatever. So Hakeem is going to just kill these dogs for some reason, and eventually they run into Ian. Finally, everyone's been waiting for it the moment Hakeem was mentioned, and this dog finally shows up for all of 30 seconds.
There's barely any fanfare for this dog.
No.
Yeah. Also, what is up with them talking about this Superintendent Chalmers guy for like 20 minutes?
They gotta give Jet some backstory while talking about Superintendent Chalmers. I can't believe they named this dude Chalmers. All the names in the world, you pick a Simpsons character that is also a meme.
This is like somebody was writing a Cowboy Bebop fan fiction. Like,
yes, this
like
is fan fiction.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you got your self-insert character.
And you got your hackneyed attempt at filling in the blanks on a character's backstory.
Yeah. And you just came up with a name because an episode of The Simpsons was on TV, and you were like, Chalmers. Was the working name for him Skinner? And they just went with the next best one?
Oh, no, it was Skinner, then it was Leonard, then it was Chalmers.
Then it was Crabapple.
they were like, we've got like some real these guys have real history together. That they've got like a really rich backstory that we're gonna just have them just talk, just say it. They're gonna say the backstory.
We're just gonna have them talk about it a little bit in there. So the idea here, we don't get the full story yet, I guess, but Chalmers got Jet put in prison, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they're referencing the flashback, the episode about Jet's backstory.
Yeah.
Or this is that syndicate assassin he's trying to hunt down.
And Jet, and while Jet was in prison, Chalmers was like, hey, your wife, she's mine now.
Yeah, that's how it works. Men claim ownership over women, the natural order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you edit in that Sigma Male song now, Swanson?
Yeah, so Jet finally gets to see his daughter. We don't know what the reasoning is why his wife doesn't want anything to do with him.
Well, because he went to prison and wasn't there for his daughter.
Yeah, but what's the reason exactly? I don't think that's enough for her to suddenly be like, Jet, don't you understand? You can't bring a dog here, you fucking idiot. You fucking stupid idiot, Jet.
The dog taxes are too high.
Why are there taxes on dogs?
I think the idea that they're going for here is that dogs are extremely rare, right?
But why would you tax
them? That's why rich
them?
people have them. There's a luxury tax on dogs or something.
Wouldn't it just be you need to have a certification like you're a professional dog owner?
I don't know. Also, this dude's a cop and he didn't know about luxury taxes on dogs? I guess that fits. Cops are not always the brightest.
Yeah, I also enjoy how this is the opposite of what they do in the original show, where the dog is worthless.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
dog is extremely lucrative.
Well, I mean, the dog breed was worthless. the kind of the swerve they gave us in the original, where basically they're trying to sell the dog. They're like, this dog must be valuable. He had it in a briefcase, and like the rare like pet lady was like, this dog's worth $2.
Yeah. Yeah,
because the only reason why the dog was valuable was because it was a data dog.
Yeah. In this case, there's none of that in this, because the whole reason Hakeem is capturing these dogs is as like revenge.
Yeah, but it seems like they might be foreshadowing that. They did make us look at its tag.
I guess that's
like
true.
A computer chip on it.
Yeah. So, they don't get Hakeem because they do find Hakeem thanks to this dog, Ian. And they start talking to Hakeem, who is still in his disguise, even though there's no reason for him to be. I just don't get this decision. It has to be something like Stair said.
Suddenly, like, go from being a competent fighter to being like this distraught loser who wants to kill himself or something.
Yeah, he mentions that he couldn't even bring himself to kill the dogs, which definitely sounds like something the algorithm added in.
So he's gonna blow his face off with a shotgun, and we have to have this funny scene, quote unquote funny, of them talking him out of it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they were like the Netflix algorithm sent a mass email to the staff and was like, "You cannot kill the dogs." Our sensors indicate that dog death will result in cancellation of series.
I would have been pretty upset if they killed the dogs, honestly.
I think they had to do a late rewrite of this episode and some reshoots. Maybe that's why there's such an abrupt switch in characterization.
They clearly had to do some sort of rewrite in this, because the moment Vicious shows up, this entire episode is like a completely different show. It's like the other two episodes.
Yes.
So yeah, they're talking him down, and then suddenly he gets shot in the head by the police, and they're like, "We're the police."
We're the police, and guess what? We don't care.
Yeah,
that guy had a gun.
We're not paying you the bounty. We're just gonna execute this guy. Goodbye. The show is soon done with this, though. They don't linger on this. They're back to Vicious. Very.
It's true. It's like it's like there's one writer who's just like, all right, can we get back to Vicious? Real quick, what's Vicious up to? He's the Poochie of the show.
All right, so Vicious, he's going to kill those guys. Then what? We need to have a cool scene to end this out with that involves Vicious. What do we do?
And Spike like, just make fun of him from over the phone.
Well, let's have Spike come inches away from murdering him and then walk away. That seems like something Spike would do, right?
Let's have Spike taunt him on the phone and then try to shoot him, but he knows he's not going to hit him, so he's just provoking him.
That's a half measure.
Exactly. The ghost of Mike Ehrmantraut should have shown up over Spike and been like, "That's a half measure, Spike. Take the shot."
Okay. I really feel the need to rewatch the original, because I swear in the original, when Spike wanted to go after Vicious, he was going to actually.
Yes, he was. He tried to kill him.
He didn't waste any time. He immediately tried to kill him.
Yeah.
And Vicious did the same. It wasn't like Vicious was over the phone talking to Spike, being like, "Oh, Spike, we meet again."
Spike, I don't like what you're saying, but I respect your right to say it.
Yeah, what is Spike hoping to accomplish by shooting the bulletproof glass? He doesn't really think he's going to scare Vicious out of leaving him alone, does he?
Vicious is like a vicious killer, man. He's in the name. He kills. He just kills for no reason. Why would he stop?
Yeah, unless they're planning some sort of unless in a later episode they're revealing there's some reason Spike does not want to kill Vicious. There's no reason that this scene should have happened the way it did, because it makes no sense.
It's like, Vicious, I'm going to give you one chance to back down, and despite me knowing you quite well and knowing for a fact that you won't, I'm going to. I don't know what he was doing. I don't understand it.
Despite me saying to you your name, which is Vicious, I am expecting you to back down in this moment.
Did he expect him to back down? The thought process here is just mind-boggling here.
Also, with the type of gun he's using, Wouldn't it go right through his cheek?
It's space future glass.
It's future glass, Watson.
You're right. Yeah, dumb of me to talk about
Plus, it's
gravity
also hitting the
and
window
physics.
at an angle. Not head
Fair,
on.
I guess. Yeah, true.
So the bullet would deform unevenly as it pressed against the glass before it shattered.
This is in true Ehrmantraut fashion the half measure. Because one, before Vicious gets in the car, he has a shot at him. He's just out in the open.
He has a lot of shots at him. His guards do not sweep the area. Spike's just on a rooftop, just free reign with his sniper rifle. He could have easily
just hanging out. Has time to make a phone call.
A phone call where Vicious seems only mildly alarmed by it. So he saunters over to his bulletproof car.
He gets a phone call from Spike and answers it like he's getting a call from a telemarketer.
Yeah.
Yes, Spike. No, I cannot talk about my credit score.
Yeah, I thought there was supposed to be bad blood between them.
And so Spike has this conversation where he's like, "Oh, all right, you better leave me alone, Vicious, otherwise I'm gonna shoot you again. Now that I've alerted you to my presence, this will make this easier for me."
Well, no, he must have thought that Vicious would be cowed by this.
Which doesn't make any sense, but I mean, who knows? Maybe there's something that we don't know about their relationship in this version of the show.
Or maybe the writers are really stupid and just thought it would be cool to include this scene.
I mean, that's probably the right message, right?
They really wanted to show that shot of the bullet flying towards the glass. They were just like really enamored with that shot, I think.
It's really cool when the bad guy talks to the good guy over the phone and they have a back and forth. That's what the Netflix writers were thinking.
Yeah, probably.
Daredevil does it too.
It's true.
I think a lot of Netflix shows do that.
Like, imagine this scene if it was just the Kingpin and the Punisher.
Yeah. Or a Kingpin and Daredevil.
Well, what would Daredevil be firing a sniper rifle?
Oh, you're right. They could throw a dart at him.
He would throw his little baton.
Yeah.
From a far distance. And hit the back of his hand. He's like, oh.
He'd be like, oh, very impressive, Mr. Murdoch.
You hurt me.
It's a devil of Hell's Kitchen.
That's my door-closing hand.
It's Olympian athlete.
And Matt Murdock's like, leave me alone, Kingpin, or leave Hell's Kitchen alone, and I'll do it again. We'll see about that, Mr. Daredevil.
You better quit doing those crimes and give up all the money you've made.
I'm doing it for Vanessa.
Turn yourself in, Kingpin, or I'll throw another one, and this time I'll hit your leg.
That's what I used to walk on.
I love to travel from one end of the city to the other, taking in the sights and sounds of the Big Apple.
I'm always walking, Murdoch, going from place to place within the city of Hell's Kitchen.
And then they would have him hit his leg, and all of the comic book nerds would be like, "Oh, this is how Kingpin gets his cane."
Yeah.
A+ episode.
It's just like the comics.
So yeah, Spike walks away like a cool guy. The end.
Yeah, well, not the end. We have there's another baffling thing we need to discuss, which is Spike
he accomplished something. Like he's really
just
with himself.
He leaves the gun there.
He leaves the gun.
Yeah, that's gonna be traced back to some people. That's gonna make life difficult for a lot of people who.
His supplier's gonna die.
He gets up, leaves the gun and the phone, which I guess is a burner, and leaves.
He's like, message sent.
Well, I think I solved my problems.
And I'm sure next episode is going to be focused on the actual adventure.
There'll be zero Vicious in this one. So what we need to talk about, of course, before we actually wrap up is I saved it for last because has the most material for me, I think, which is this Jet going to see his daughter scene.
Yes, where we learn that there's a dog tax.
Yeah, we discussed the dog tax, but so he pulls up in his motorcycle. I think first appearance of his motorcycle, by the way. And he's got this box which contains a dog in it.
Yeah, a little guy.
But it does not feel like he's carrying it like there's a dog in there in the first until it's revealed.
He's carrying it just like it's full of like newspaper shreddings or something.
Yeah.
Dogs are sort of like that.
He walks into the house, 0 people.
Oh yeah, he missed the party. That was yesterday.
Yeah. He has a throwaway he has a throwaway line about how he missed the party. And it's definitely like we can't have a bunch of people in a scene at once type of deal.
Oh, not in a closed space like that.
No, of course not. So he shows up to this secluded house that they're filming in, where it's just his daughter sitting there playing, and he's like, "Hey, I got you a present."
I'm a
She's
man.
Like, oh boy,
I got in the house. Here.
And also, everything is like bathed in golden light.
Yes. Like, are they on Mercury? Why is there so much sunlight? And she's like, "Whoa, it's a dog." He's like, "Yeah, I got you this cool dog. His name is Ian." She's like, "Wow, I love dog. Let's go play with dog." And his wife shows up immediately, and she's like, "Jet, what are you doing?"
You stupid! The dog taxes! The dog taxes! You can't
Don't you think with your stupid head? It's dumb.
Yeah, and then she starts throwing stuff at him, including a bag of her own shit.
How can you bring the dog here? He's got to be on the ship.
You think I want to find out?
And then Chalmers shows up, and he's like, "Whoa, man, where'd you get that dog?" Anyways. And Jet is immediately defensive of the dog, which seems like a bad play.
I'm here to remind you that I've taken your wife, by the way.
This is weird undercurrent in the show where nobody respects the bounty hunter profession.
I think that's true in the original as well.
I don't know. I never see anyone being like cowboys.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for criminals to not respect them. But like, I feel like it was common in the show that like being a bounty hunter wasn't like a lucrative profession or something to be praised.
It doesn't help that the show doesn't want to show us them being cowboys either.
No,
True.
it wants to show them being like on the run from the syndicate, but only part of the time.
Except only one man's on the run from the syndicate, just oblivious.
By the way, before we wrap up, was this the first episode where Spike actually lights a cigarette?
I don't know.
Because he hasn't been doing it a lot, which I figured was just like a normal TV type of deal.
I don't know.
But he lights one up here when he's in between the PlayStation Avatar lady's boobs. And I was like, huh, that's what's been missing. I need more copious amounts of cigarette smoke.
Yeah, I think they might have just forgotten to do it in the first 2 episodes.
We need more bad habits from Mr. Spike.
Yeah. And, so Jet is like, "Fine, I'll take the dog." And she's like, "Yeah, you'll take the dog and you'll leave. You've been here for 5 minutes. Leave!" He's like, "All right, bye."
It's like, you know what? When you're right, you're right.
I won't defend myself from this.
Yeah, I think you should just get a new wife.
Goodbye.
Can't wait to kill Chalmers, which I've been fantasizing about this episode.
Well, yeah, there's a discussion with him and Spike about whether or not he would shoot this guy and shoot Chalmers in the head. He says, "No, but I would torture him," essentially. Which was
weird.
Which is very shocking in the aftermath of this debacle at the Oscars.
Yeah, if Chalmers was Betty White, he could slap her and she would fall over and die.
The Jet Black doctrine has no place in the conflict with Ukraine.
What if William Smith had a sword in the situation? Would things have gone down?
Chris Rock would have caught it. like Eisen
Chris
did.
Rock would have pulled out his gun and they would have had a fight. Imagine it's the Oscars stage, but like Chris Rock and Will Smith are like
Reenacting the end of Cowboy Bebop.
they're posing at each other like it's the scene in the church,
Yeah.
just in the middle of the Oscars, and the crowd's just clapping and cheering and hooting and hollering. They all get this reference.
Of course they get the reference. It's a classic.
My favorite part about that, Stare, on your Twitter account, you shared a bunch of pictures of people's reactions to that moment. My
and
favorite
the Rock
part,
is just like,
The Rock is just lifting his eyebrow because he's always on brand.
yeah. And at the bottom, Ryan Gosling just,
Yes. It's great. Retweet it under. Let's have the intern retweet that. Just so people know what we're talking about.
Oh, you don't want to tell the intern to do anything. You have to ask. Like, ask politely.
Mr. Intern, please, if you're listening,
please,
retweet
Mr.
that.
Police Officer, retweet this for us.
Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the episode. The actual end is Spike walking off like a cool guy, but we had to get to Jack's cuckold adventures before we closed out.
Yeah, just like Will Smith.
Yeah. So, alright, so that's the episode. What are our thoughts on this?
I feel like we've covered it all.
Yeah, it was, I love that they dangled the little carrot of hope in front of me for a bit, where I was like, this could end up being like a not horrible hour of TV.
No.
Nope. Turns out we're going to just make a bunch of baffling decisions, and also here's some more Vicious for you, because we know you love that dude. We know you want a bunch of British Vicious, as he makes weird faces at the camera while talking on the phone to his arch enemy.
I didn't like the weird sexual angles going on this episode.
You mean like all the sex club stuff?
I mean like the lady trying to hit on Jet.
Oh, yeah.
That was
bad.
That was unpleasant.
I would say that's capital B bad in terms of like things on this show.
Yeah, so another tune out on this one.
Yeah, another one.
But you know what we're going to tune into, though?
What?
A baseball game, and we're going to have...
Da 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 da.
Take me out to the ball game.
We're gonna have a
can you see?
We're gonna have $1
Yeah.
hot dog night tonight. We're gonna each eat $1
Voice
hot
of hot
dog.
dogs.
That's right. We still are out here right outside of Coors Field.
Oh no. The wolves are here.
The wolves are here. Quick, throw your hot dogs down. Let's go.
Throw them at the wolves, they'll slow them down.
All right. Well, thank you once again for this. Of course, as always, if you want to buy us a coffee, go on over to buymeacoffee.com/tvtuners. A single coffee gives you a single episode for us to discuss. We're still dealing with this Bebop stuff for a bit. And you know, there's always time for more coffees though, because you know, after this we've got only a handful of episodes to do for coffee stuff. Not to mention a whole other anime
You
series.
mean like a dozen plus.
At least.
So please don't buy us more coffees.
We need
I
more
mean, do whatever
coffees.
you want.
We're extremely thirsty. We need to watch more of these things that we don't want to watch.
Well, here's the thing. Hot dogs are salty and make you thirsty, so we need more coffee.
Is coffee hydrating to drink coffee? Do you get hydrated from drinking coffee?
I think if you drink
Yes.
like 1 cup or 2.
One cup is hydrating. The rest.
I feel like it adds up after a while. Like
Yeah, you can only drink a single cup of coffee, Kieran. If you
And that
drink any
one's
more,
that one's gonna do it for you, but the rest of them are no good.
yeah.
All right, let me
That's
look
right.
this up. While caffeinated drinks may have a mild diuretic effect, meaning they cause the need to urinate, they don't appear to increase the risk of dehydration. Still,
But do they
caffeinated drinks...
Go on.
Still, caffeinated drinks cause headaches and insomnia in some people. Also, some studies suggest that if you're pregnant, high levels of caffeine consumption could increase your chance of a preterm birth or miscarriage. Water is probably your best bet to stay hydrated. It's calorie-free and caffeine-free, inexpensive and readily available.
That's what I'm having a big old gulp of water right as we speak.
I can't believe this podcast is sponsored by Big Water.
That's right. Go and get yourself a tasty glass of water over at Coors Field while you're enjoying your hot dog.
They've got free water fountains now reopened.
Okay,
that's right.
According to the Denver Post, even though caffeine is a diuretic, which forces water to be excreted in urine, our bodies quickly compensate. And then they don't expand on that at all.
So, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to reconvene next week and discuss whether or not coffee hydrates you or not.
Yeah, we're also going to have to discuss how Stairmaster said diuretic.
Diuretic.
But until then, keep on cowboying. We'll see you next week for more space. Bye. It's over.
I found them.
Hey folks, did you know that Stairmaster has the gift of resurrection?
The curse of resurrection.